सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः
स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः
स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु।
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
So last time we saw this fourth mantra here, prano hyeshayah
प्राणो ह्येषयः
सर्वभूतैः विभाति
सर्वभूतैः विभाति
विजानन् विद्वान् भवते नातिवादी
विजानान् विद्वान् भवते नातिवादी
आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः
आत्मक्रीड आत्मरतिः
क्रियावान् येष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः
क्रियावान् एष ब्रह्मविदां वरिष्ठः।
So this is the verse we saw last time. So prano hyesha yaha sarvabhutaihi vibhati. So this Brahman, okay, so it indeed he, Brahman or Isvara here actually, Yeshaha means Prakritam, whatever is under discussion is Brahman as the cause of everything. So that is Isvara. So this Isvara is Pranaha, is the one who sustains all life forms in this different living beings, in these various beings, Sarva Bhutaihi, in all the living beings. Isvara is the one who is Pranaha, who shines as the Prana, who shines as the Prana and makes them sustain living. So the very Pranaha is nothing but this Isvara. Okay. So Isvara is the one who shines as the Prana in all the beings. And knowing this, Vijanan, Vidwan. Vidwan means a person who has wisdom, okay, who has knowledge, a knowledgeable person. One who knows this Atma is known as Vidwan here. Bhavate becomes what? Na ativadi. So again, he does not become an ativadi. Ativadi means one who talks beyond the limits, you can say. One who keeps on talking, or one who talks about unnecessary things is called ativadi. But here again, the Vidwan does not become an ativadi means what? In fact, Vidwan does not talk about anything else other than Atma. Okay. In fact, Vidwan has an understanding that the wise person knows that the meaning of any word is nothing but Brahman. Brahman is the meaning of all the words. And Brahman is not the meaning of any one particular word. That is the beauty here. So, a wise person understands that and understands that whatever I may be talking about, it is all about that Brahman only. It cannot be anything else. So, a Vidwan can never be an Ativadi because Vidwan understands that whatever I speak, it is not beyond Brahman. Even if I speak about something I know, I am talking about Brahman. Even if I speak about something which is not immediately perceptible, let us say, like a black hole, even conceptually I am talking about certain things, even that is not beyond Brahman. Everything is within this consciousness only, within Brahman alone. And that's why the Vidwan becomes one who does not talk anything other than the Atma, because the Vidwan knows that all these things are nothing but Brahman alone. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. And such a Vidwan, what is the Nishtha of that Vidwan? How does that Vidwan then lead his or her life? Means that Vidwan is now Atma Kridaha. Atma Kridaha means what? One who plays with oneself. So Atma alone is enough for the Vidwan. There is no need of anything else to be happy, to become playful, to enjoy. So the Vidwan to be entertained, because there can be one doubt. What is this you are talking about? All this Atma is everything, Advaita and all that. If only I am there, will it not be boring? What if moksha is boring? So that's why the Shruti is saying moksha is Ananda Swarupaha. There is no question of any boredom. Okay. Even you are with yourself, and Atma Ratihi also, even more important. So you rejoice in yourself. So you do not only play with yourself, but you also rejoice, you revel in yourself, in oneself. So the Atma Kridaha, Atma Ratihi, and what else? Kriyavan. But you can be still engaged in activities as a Jnani. Jnani does not mean that you have to sit in a cave. Jnanis may sit in a cave also. That is a different thing. There are Mauni Babas are also. So those who do not want to talk, those who have a certain disposition where they want to lead a ekanta life, they want to lead a solitary life, let us say, in solitude, like a recluse. That is also possible. But even a recluse has to get up and eat, breathe. Minimum you have to do some activities, correct? But otherwise a Jnani also can be doing lot of activities. Shankara wrote lot of Bhashya. That's why we are able to study all these Bhashyas. Okay. And many of our sons, Mahatmas and all, they have done lot of work for the society. They have been advisors to kings. And people like Janaka were kings. Okay, there are Raja Rishis also there. Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita talks about Raja Rishi. There is a Raja Rishi parampara was there, and that parampara got lost. And again I am teaching you the same thing. Like that Bhagavan says to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. So there have been different types of Jnanis. So Jnani can be a Kriyavan, the one who has action. But the important thing here is the Jnani himself does not consider oneself to be an actor. Jnani is not a Karta. Jnani is a Kriyavan but not a karta. That is an important thing. So jnani is not a karta bhokta. Even this atma kridaha, atma ratihi, all these things are pointed out only to tell that jnani understands oneself to be the ananda swarupaha. The source of all happiness, source of all ananda is oneself and does not depend on anything else, external stimulus to be happy. And such a jnani, yeshaha brahma vidam varishtaha. So this jnani is the best among the ones who know this Veda. So here Brahma Vidam means you should not consider the ones who know this Brahman. So those who know Brahman, we cannot have any taratamya there, any differentiation and all that. Knowledge of Brahman as oneself is the same for all the jnanis. There is no difference. And again, that knowledge itself is not going to be in any way deficient or anything depending on their particular lifestyle or anything like that. So if I clearly know who I am, after that you cannot say this jnani is better than that jnani and all that. So here Brahma, we have to take the meaning of Veda. That gives a better meaning here. Brahma Vidam Varishtaha means amongst the ones who know the Veda, who have studied the Vedas, those who are Brahmavits are the best, because the Tatparya of the Veda is to reveal the Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa only, as yourself, correct? So that is the Tatparya of the Veda. And so just even though you may be a great Vedavit, one who has studied the Veda fully, but if you have not understood Brahman, then you cannot be called the Varishtaha or the best. Okay, so that is the verse we saw last time. Now we will continue further. So the Upanishad now continues by giving some sadhanas. How do we become a jnani? Okay. So for becoming a jnani, what are all the sadhanas? That is being talked about here. And when we talk about sadhana, there are antaranga sadhana and bahiranga sadhana, like that. Both are talked about here. So Upanishad mostly doesn't talk too much about this bahiranga sadhana as it is talked about in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita talks a lot about karma yoga and how one has to prepare oneself to be eligible or qualified for this knowledge. So here, but anyway, this Upanishad is talking about these bahiranga sadhana also here. Let us see that. Satyena labhyaha tapasa hyesha atma samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam antas sharire jyotirmayo hi shubhraha yam pashyanti yatayaha China dosha. So, satyena labhyaha. Nityam also is there. That nityam we have to add everywhere. Okay, nityam satyena labhyaha. Nityam tapasa. Nityam brahmacharyena. So these are all there in instrumental case. Okay, that itself gives that these are all the means for gaining moksha. But here, satyena labhyaha means what? Leading a life of truthfulness. Now, the one who talks the truth, okay, means you have a certain courage to face the things as it is. Okay. So only those people can talk truth. Not everybody can talk truth all the time. It's not easy, like we have seen in the case of even Harishchandra. Okay, Harishchandra's story tells us how difficult it is if you are all the time speaking the truth. But that is an important thing, because this points to a certain ethical lifestyle. Okay, and truth again here is not about the ultimate truth or Brahman. Here it is about Satyam, as in speaking the truth. Again, Veda also says Satyam Vada. Okay, then it also says what? Satyam api Hitam Vada, tell that which is good. And Hitam api Priyam Vada, tell in a pleasing manner. So these things are all important for you to be a emotionally mature person. You should be able to speak the truth and speak good things, and even those good things you should be able to tell in a very pleasing manner. So this points out that you have a certain value for the different values. So we talked about value of values. Okay. So there also, the speaking the truth, if you take, one value is given here in the Upanishad. We saw 20 different things were talked about when we had the value of values classes in the Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. Amanitwadi are talked about. So the idea here is, even if you take any one value and understand the value of that and follow that, all other values also will come automatically. It is like a train. The engine has to only pull one coach. The other coaches also will come, correct? All the coaches are connected. Like that, all values are also connected. If you have one value and if you follow that seriously, means then all other values also you will have. So here Satyena Labhyaha means if you are truthful to yourself, that means you are ready to face any problem, okay, which may be there. Your own emotional issues, whatever is there, you are ready to face that, and you are being truthful to yourself means you are then ready to solve it also, resolve it. Because being emotionally mature is one of the most important qualifications for this knowledge. Why? Because any emotional immaturity only reinforces your ego, and that will again only reinforce your smallness. So anything which is reinforcing your smallness is not going to help you gain this knowledge. Somebody who is having an inferiority complex, you cannot go and tell him that you are Brahman, you are everything. That person will never understand that, how much ever you tell. Okay? So, first you should have a certain emotional maturity. And how do we gain that? By living a life of values. That is very important. The more we lead a life of values, we do not rub others also. You lead a more harmonious life so that you do not disturb others. In the process, you are also not gaining any disturbance. So you also do not hurt, and you also don't get hurt. So like that, we lead a certain lifestyle of values which helps us become more matured. Again, which also gives us a certain mastery over our likes and dislikes also, which is again very important. Because any raga or dvesha, like or dislike, reinforces duality, smallness. because you think that without this thing I cannot be, or with this thing I cannot be happy, so I have to get rid of it. That means what? There is a clear duality between the liker and what is liked, or the disliker. They are two different things. That means the liker and disliker are small, limited beings, individuals, ego. That is the main thing there. That is what is getting reinforced. And when it is like that, again this knowledge will not be easy to understand. One should have a certain mastery over one's likes and dislikes. So all that is meant here, satyena labhyaha. So leading a life of ethics, values. Tapasa, again nityam also we have to add. Nityam satyena means it is not that I am truthful only one day of the week, or whatever, 1 week of the month and like that, or during the weekends alone while attending the class I am truthful. No, you have to be always following these things. These values have to be upheld. Okay, you have to lead your life in the light of these values, so that it is always there. Then only it will be useful. Then only it will give you a certain maturity. So nityam has to be added. Similarly, tapasa labhyaha we have to take. Again, tapas means what? All religious disciplines we have to take here. So satyena labhyaha means that points to a ethical lifestyle, and tapasa means a religious lifestyle again, because without recognizing Isvara there is no karma yoga. Without settling your account with Isvara also you cannot this emotional maturity also. And that we have to recognize the giver in the given. The whole creation, the whole world is, and in that given we have to recognize the giver and have that relationship with Isvara. The relationship with Isvara alone is a relationship which can never be obliterated, which can never go away. All other relationships are like momentary. When I am in the office, I am an employer or an employee. When I come home, I become a parent. But the devotee is always there. The devotee is the parent, the devotee is the employer, devotee is the employee. Like that, that relationship with Isvara has to be there, strong. And one has to recognize Isvara as the giver of karma phala. And that in that recognition, again we get a certain freedom, correct? Because I am no more a failure then. Isvara is the karma phala data. So whatever karma I do, I am ready to accept the results as prasada. So there is no feeling of any failure or even success for that matter. So one is able to lead a life of values again, and religiously we have to lead that life. That is what this tapas. Tapas also is very important in another sense, because many of us have childhood problems. This I have seen personally. I have dealt with so many different people. Even now we deal with people. Most of the issues are from childhood. Something which happened in this childhood has gone into your subconscious, and because of that you are programmed in a certain way, and you have a certain habitual thinking pattern and certain habitual ways of doing things, let us say, and reacting under situations. Now this is not very easy to change, even though you are a mumukshu and you want to change. Certain things are not very easy to change. These behavioral changes do not happen easily. It is very difficult. Okay? That is because it is subconscious. consciously, even though you make an effort, willfully you try to change, it is not easy, because some of these things are not even, it is not under your willpower that easy. So you have to do tapas. Tapas means again you have to resolve all these things by surrendering to Isvara only, and also doing different religious disciplines. You try to overcome and resolve. You try to earn grace also, enough grace so that whatever grace you have earned, whatever punya you earned, helps you to overcome all these issues, all the childhood issues. That is a very important thing. So tapas again is an important thing here. And again here tapas can also be taken as upasana. So upasana also is very important for one to gain a certain chitta naischalyam, we say, correct? To have a mind which is calm, which is not disturbed by anything. So chitta shuddhi is karma yoga, and chitta naischalya is with upasana, doing meditation, dhyana, doing even mantra japa and all that. Any manasam karma you do, so that you learn to focus on one thing alone to the exclusion of everything else, and that will help you. Okay, so this tapas, again this has to be done nityam. For a mumukshu, tapas also is nityam. So every day we have to religiously follow our whatever religious life which we have for ourselves. You have to have a certain religious life, whatever practices you are doing, you have to do it. So these two things again are called sadharanam, sadhanam. It is required, okay, for Atma Jnanam. More importantly, to prepare yourself to become qualified for this Atma Jnanam, this Satyam and Tapas are required. So you can call them again Sadharanam, Sadhanam, and also Bahiranga Sadhana. They are all external means. Then what is the Antaranga Sadhana or Asadharana Sadhana? So the Asadharanam Sadhanam is what? That which is a particular means for you to gain moksha is Samyak Jnanena Hi Esha Atma. So this Atma is gained by Samyak Jnana. Samyak Jnana means clear knowledge. Clear knowledge is the direct sadhanam for moksha. Okay, the clear jnanam of the Swarupa of oneself and Swarupa of Isvara being one and the same. Because this whole Mundaka starts with two birds, correct? One is the Isvara bird, another is the Jiva bird. The one who clearly knows the Swarupa of both as one and the same, that person is the one who has Samyak Jnanam. And to have this Samyak Jnanam, what is the sadhanam? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam. There is no other sadhana. So you have to listen to the Shastra from a Guru. So Shastra Shravanam alone is the Pramana. And then Manana means what? Whatever you have heard. If you have any doubts, then clarifying all those doubts, becoming clear, so that you have a doubtless jnanam. So even then Shravanam alone reveals to you this knowledge. Mananam is only a Angi of Shravana. Without doing Shravana, there is no Manana possible. Whatever Shravanam you have done, on that knowledge only you further use some analogies, supporting logic, etc. to get rid of all the doubts. Mananam. Then Nididhyasanam also is what? Or Dhyanam also sometimes we say. Dhyana or Nididhyasana. So this Nididhyasanam again is recollecting whatever Shravanam you have done. Okay, whatever you have listened to, the same thing you recollect again and again, because insights have to be repeated. Then only you gain a nishtha. You get established in this knowledge, and this knowledge becomes your very nature. Otherwise, till now, I am an individual is natural to me, correct? That is my sahaja sthiti, that I am an individual. I am a small alpa person. I am a limited being. This is natural to me. But I have to overpower that and make this knowledge that Aham Brahmasmi must become my nature. That must become my sahaja sthiti or natural state. And that knowledge has to be available all the time. Even when I am doing any vyavahara, that has to be the main thing. That knowledge has to be always there in the background without any form of obstacles. So that is what is important here. These Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are the asadharana sadhana, or the antaranga sadhana, they are called. Then one more thing also is talked about here, brahmacharyena. So brahmacharyena means what? So brahman charati iti brahmachari, the one who is dedicated to the study of the Veda as a student. And here in particular, here brahmacharya means going and living with a guru. Gurukula Vasa, doing Gurukula Vasa is called brahmacharya. So actually Vedanta, I would say, to study Vedanta, a residential setup is important, because if you go to the Guru and live with the Guru, it shows your commitment, that you are ready to give up all other activities and take up the Shastra Shravana Manana Nididhyasana as the main thing, and moksha is your only pursuit. So all these things are like made clear if one goes to a Guru and stays with the Guru and studies the Shastra. And again, brahmacharya means you are also ready to do any seva to the Guru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Like that Bhagavad Gita also says. So you are ready to go and live with the Guru and do any seva for the Guru and learn. Then Guru will teach. Correct? Guru has nothing else to do anyway. Whatever the Guru knows, Guru is ready to teach. Upadeksyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Like that Bhagavan says. So the tattvadarshi, the one who knows the tattva, the jnani, will teach. Upadeksyanti. So like this, here we can see the Upanishad is talking about both the Bahiranga Sadhana and Antaranga Sadhana to gain this knowledge. Okay, so this Yesha Atma, this Atma, where do we know this Atma? Where is this Atma? Is it sitting somewhere in Golok, Vrindavan or something? No. Antasharire. It is within your body means what? It is yourself. Correct? Sometimes we say Buddhi Guha, this Atma is available in the Buddhi Guha and all that. That is just to say that you recognize it in your Buddhi. Because the locus of the error also is in the Buddhi, correct? Because the ego also is recognized in the Buddhi only. I am the doer, I am the actor, I am the enjoyer, all these things are also in the Buddhi. So the locus of the error also is Buddhi, and the correction also has to take place there, the Jnanam. But anyway, the Atma is recognized as oneself, Antasharire, in this Sharira itself. And in what form? How is this Atma? Jyotirmayaha, which is of the form of Jyotihi, Jyotisham, Jyotihi and all we saw even before. So this Atma is that light because of which all other lights come to light, correct? This is the light which enlightens you of all other lights, whether it is the Surya, Chandra, even our tube light, whatever it is. They are all only shining after. Okay, this Atma alone shines. And that is the shine we are talking about. Again here, Mayaha. Mayat is the pratyaya here. Actually, what is the meaning of this Mayat? There is a huge, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhashya, there is a Bhashyakara talks about, even in Brahma Sutra it is there. Because Mayat has two meanings. One is called Prachuryartha. Okay, that means predominance. And another is called Vikara, this modification. So Mayat can come in both the meanings. Now Jyotirmayaha here cannot be modification. Atma is not a modification of anything. Understand that. In fact, Purvapakshi says both the meanings there is a problem. Because even if you say predominance, for example, Annamayaha, Yajnaha, like that there is a general quotation is there. That means what this particular Yajna was, Annamayaha means they did lot of Annadana. So Annadana was predominant in a particular Yajna, let us say, but it doesn't mean only Annadana was there. There were other things also which were done. But Anna was the Pradhana, let us say, or Annam as a habis was used as the main thing. But ghee also may have been used. Or in the case, if this Annadana means maybe even gold was given, some other silver was given, we don't know. But predominance means more than one thing is there. Again, there is a problem. So that's why Bhashyakara says Mayat means Prachuryartham only we have to take, but here it is total. Atma is Jyoti Swarupam only. Jyotirmaya also really means it is Jyoti Swarupam. There is the predominance is total, it is complete. There is no second thing there. Just to give you an idea how arguments are all there. Some grammatical arguments are also there in the Bhashyas. Okay. So here Jyotirmayaha, this Atma is Jyotisham Jyotihi, it is Jyotirmayaha. And Shubhraha, indeed you have to be a Shubhraha means what? One who is pure. So this Atma is always pure. It is free from all ignorance. Okay, so even the ignorance is lighted up by this Atma only. Understand that. So if I ask you, do you know Chinese? You say I don't know. I don't know also is known by only this Atma. If I ask you, do you know English? You say yes. That also is known by this Atma only. So Atma is the one which is lighting up both this Jnanam and Ajnanam, whatever we say. Because it is Swarupa Jnanam. It is like the sun. Because of the sun only we even see the cloud which is actually covering the sun, correct? If there is no sun, no moon, nothing, the cloud also may not be visible. So the very cloud which is covering the sun is itself visible only because of the sun, correct? Like that, both this Jnanam and Ajnanam and all, Vritti Jnanam, Vritti, whatever, Ajnana also is a Vritti. All these things are all lighted by this Atma, which is the Jyotisham Jyotihi, and that is Shubhra. It cannot be touched by anything, correct? It is beyond Punya Papa also. That way also, if you see, it is neither Karta nor Bhokta. It is not subjected to any Punya Papa, and it does not have any Ajnanam. Even when you sleep, Atma is awake. It is Alupta Drika. Only the mind folds in deep sleep. There is no subject object, but Atma is still shining. That's why you are able to say, I slept well and all that. That pratyabhijna, we say, recollection. So, Atma is always awake and it is not touched by any ignorance and it cannot be touched by punya papa also. It is Shubhraha, Jyotirmayaha, Yam Pashyati. So, Yesha Atma, so this Atma, the one who sees like this, correct? And who are those people? Yam Pashyanti means Yatayaha, one who make effort. Yati means again one who makes effort. We can give a meaning. Or in general, Yatayaha means even sannyasis are known as Yatis, correct? That's because they are Yatna Shilaha, the one they make a lot of effort to know this Atma, correct? They are committed to only this pursuit. So such people are called Yatayaha. So those who make the right effort, and they are also Kshina Doshaha. They don't have any doshas. Okay, all the doshas are all gone from them. So such people who make the right effort and who do not have any dosha, any, what do we say? Dosha means in English it is very simple, correct? So, impurity we can say. Okay, who are free from all types of defects or impurities. Those people see this Atma in this Sharira itself. So that is the beauty here. So very clearly here the Upanishad is talking about how to gain this Atma Jnanam, what are the sadhanas for that, and in where do we gain this Atma, what is its nature, what is the Swarupa of the Atma, everything is given in this beautiful verse. So that was presented here, this all the means and ends were presented, correct? And in the next mantra, the Upanishad is going to specifically talk about truth. Okay, because in the previous one I told you both all the different sadhanas, the sadharana sadhanam like satya, tapas, brahmacharya, asadharana sadhanam like this samyak jnanam, all of them were talked about. But now among the sadharana sadhana, it is going to talk about truth, especially in the next mantra. So, truth is singled out because it is one value which if you take it up seriously, then all other values also will follow in its light, definitely. So truth is very important as a value. Again, even this, when we talk about this asadharanam sadhanam, let us say somebody goes and does Shravana Mananam, Nidhyasanam, and then says, what is this? I don't get anything. I don't understand what this Guru is talking. So that only points out that these other sadhanas were not used properly, correct? One has to first undergo an ethical and religious life and become mature and qualified for this knowledge. Then only this Shravana Manana also will be phalavat. It will give you the proper results. If somebody comes and straight away sits in a Vedanta class, then in fact many people sit. When Swamiji used to have classes, many people will come and sit And if you go and ask them, they'll simply say even sitting in Swamiji's class is punya. So they have not really come to understand Vedanta or anything. They may simply come even to sit in the presence of a saintly person, and that itself is a punyam. But anyway, so the idea here is this Bahiranga sadhana are very, very important. That's what I want to tell you. And without the Bahiranga sadhana being properly used, properly, you have to lead a life with that. You are not going to become qualified for this Atmajnanam. So that is what is talked about here in the next verse. Satyameva jayate.
Satyameva jayate.
Na nritam.
Na nritam.
Satyena pantha vitato devayanaha.
Satyena pantha vitato devayanaha.
Yena akramanti rishayaha hi apta kamaha.
Yena
akramanti. Yena akramanti.
Yena akramanti.
Rishayaha.
Rishayaha.
Hi apta kamaha.
Hi apta kamaha.
Yatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam.
Yatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam.
So here satyam eva jayate. Actually jayate is chandasam. A jayati it has to be. So Bhashyakara simply will put jayate jayati like that. So satyam eva jayate. So it must be familiar to you. This is the Indian government has taken this from the Upanishad. Okay, Satyameva Jayate is a very famous Vakya, and it is coming from this Upanishad. So truth alone Jayate wins, not Anritam, na Anritam, not the untruthful. And Devayanaha means it is the chariot of the Devas, correct? So, and Panthaha, path. Panthaha means path. So, with this truthfulness, Satyena Devayanaha Panthaha Vitataha. So, if you are truthful, it is as though the chariots of the Devas is there for you to go in the path. Okay. So for you to take the Devayana, the means is nothing but truthfulness. So with truthfulness, it is as though that the path of the Devas is laid out for you, and you can go in that path using the celestial chariot, we can say, divine chariot. And again what? Rishayaha apta kamaha. So Rishayaha means those who Rishati, Janati. Rishayaha also means the one who is a knower. Okay. So Rishayaha apta kamaha. Apta kamaha means what? The one's desires which are totally fulfilled. For whom? That person is apta kamaha. So all the desires are fulfilled means jnani only can be like that, correct? Because I am not even the desirer anymore. I am not the bhokta. Means it is as though all the desires are fulfilled. And akramanti means they claim, you can say. Okay. And what they claim, the paramam, yatra paramam nidhanam satyasya. So, so by this path of this truthfulness only, those who know and those who have fulfilled all their desires go and claim the Paramam Nidhanam, the greatest treasure. Means here it is Brahma Loka we have to take, okay? And where this greatest treasure of truthfulness is present, we have to take like that. Satyasya Nidhanam, Paramam Nidhanam Yatra, that Tat Akramanti Rishayaha Apta Kamaha. So those who know and those for whom all these desires are fulfilled, they claim this great Brahmaloka, which is where this greatest treasure of this truthfulness is present. So again, Satyam Eva Jayate means what? Satyam is a value and Andritam means it is opposite of Satyam. So again, it is all centered on a person, correct? So Satyam has to be present in a person who speaks Satya. Andritam also in the same manner. So Satyam, again we have to practice it as a discipline. That's why it is a sadhana. But after some time what happens? It becomes spontaneous. It becomes your second nature. Initially you have to think a lot. Maybe you have to gain some courage to be truthful, correct? Being truthful is not very easy. It requires a certain courage also. But once you have that and you have, in fact, you see that life becomes simpler, in fact. If you are always truthful, you don't have to remember too many things. And so, the one who is truthful, through that only he wins. Okay, then how can we say that Satyameva Jayate? Nowadays, if we look at the Vyavahara, all politicians are lying. Lawyers are paid only for lying. Media is also paid for lying. So how can we say truth alone wins? Okay. So, but anyway, by being truthful, only as a person, you are becoming mature, correct? And a person who is all the time talking untruth also is having a certain problem, correct? Some psychological problem, some emotional problem. So by speaking the untruth, they think that they are somehow going to gain something. But actually in the process they are losing. It's a bad bargain. So anytime we do adharma, we think that we are gaining something. But that person, the adharmi, does not understand that it is a bad bargain. Many times the crime itself is a punishment because it is going to give you guilt. It is going to give you fear. So all these things are there. Okay, of course, if you get caught, the police and the judge also will punish you. But that is the actual punishment. But even otherwise, psychologically, you are punished with fear and guilt and all that. So this Andritam never pays. That's what we have to understand. It's not a good bargain. And the one who is steadfast with his truthfulness, he may face problems. Pandavas faced problems. Even Ramayana also, Rama had to go to the forest for 14 years. But you will get victory in the end. Means you are, as a person, don't just go by what is happening in one's life. But as a person, you know you are truthful means you are now going to have a mature mind. Okay? And you are able to face your life truthfully. You are able to face yourself truthfully, which is even more important, so that you can resolve all your issues. And only that person gains the real victory. Real victory for us is what? Gaining moksha. Understand that. That is the greatest treasure. The greatest nidhanam here it talks about, correct? That is, that greatest treasure of moksha you can gain only by being truthful, not by telling falsities and lying, whatever, all the time. So, the Satyavadi alone prevails. And Satyena Pantha Vitato Devayanaha. So, this, even if you want to go to Brahmaloka or Devaloka also, that path also is laid out only by speaking truth. Truthfulness only will take you there also. And again, by this truthfulness alone, the rishis also have gained their greatest destination. And rishis are those who follow dharma, okay, and they don't have any falseness, any false pretension, or they are not about falsity. So, and they are the ones who have attained all that is to be attained. Apta kamaha. They are the ones who have fulfilled all their desires also. And so basically apta kamaha here means those who are free from ragadvesha. Okay. So such people, and for them also this great treasure or moksha is gained only through this satya. Okay. So this satya is very important. That's what is talked about here by the Shastra. And again, here the treasure means moksha. Okay, treasure means not some real treasure like gold or anything. It's only a figure of speech. The Shastra is using it. What can be more greater than Amritatvam, being immortal? That is the greatest treasure one can gain, and that is gained only by being truthful and following whatever is said in the Shastra, and also understanding the teachings of the Shastra. So that is this Paramam Nidhanam. So that's what is said here. Yatra tat satyasya paramam nidhanam yena akramanti rishayaha aptakamaha. So this is a very important verse. Again, it is reinforcing that one has to lead a life of values. One has to lead an ethical life, and only by practicing an ethical lifestyle one can become qualified for moksha, for this jnana. For others, they are only like, maybe in this worldly life you may think that they are successful and all that, but that is not really any success. Understand that. Even in the worldly life, they may get caught, they may get prosecuted. So even recently in Tamil Nadu, there was a chief secretary was there. He was an IAS officer. He is about to retire in some few months. But then he is now caught, he is arrested and all that means. What does it say? So you are always under some fear. What if somebody catches? So guilt and fear you will have. If you are not following truthfulness, you are going to have guilt and fear. Even though others catch you and punish you or not, this punishment you will have. So you cannot escape that. That is why Anritam is never going to win. A life of falsity, false values will not take you anywhere. It is only going to reinforce your smallness, and it will give you only fear and guilt. Only a life of truthfulness and courage courage to look at oneself truthfully and address one's issues and become mature, such a person alone is going to get this great treasure, which is nothing but moksha, amritatvam, immortality. So that is what is said here beautifully. We'll take up the next verse in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnasya Purnamadaya
Purnamevavashishyate
Purnameva Vasishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.